For Oshawa.
Thank you, Speaker. And my question is to the Premier. When Oshawa found out about GM's decision to abandon our community, a community that had been loyal and supportive of auto manufacturing for 100 years, we were devastated. We rose up and we have been rallying ever since. This Premier instead was told by GM to stay seated, and that is exactly what he's been doing, sitting on the sidelines since the announcement. But Speaker, Michigan state leaders didn't go quietly, and GM has given them a reprieve. Now that Michigan has proven leadership that fights for jobs in their community can make a difference, will the Premier finally get off his seat and stand up for auto workers in Oshawa?
Members, please take their seats. Premier.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, I'm glad you mentioned that. We had a meeting with the Governor of Michigan, had a meeting with governors right across the U.S., and we're the envy of North America. We created 43,000 jobs. We're cutting red tape. We're the largest trading partner to 19 states, second to 9 others. If we were a standalone country, Mr. Speaker, we would be the third largest trading partner to the United States. But when I went there and I met with hundreds of people, not to mention Fortune 500 companies, they said, thank God you're in power now and not the Liberals. You're cutting taxes, we're cutting red tape, we're creating an environment to thrive in this province. And they have certainty. They have certainty like they've never had before.
Order. Opposition, come to order. Member for York Centre, come to order. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. And again to the Premier. Michigan stood up to GM and stood up for auto workers. GM has responded. Jobs are being saved in Hamtramck in Michigan. This government talks a lot about jobs. They talk all day about jobs, but in Oshawa and across Durham, there are thousands and thousands of good jobs, and this Premier won't do anything to keep them. Nothing. Good jobs cannot be one of the Premier's bumper stickers. Good jobs has to be a commitment. It has to involve action. There is hope, and good jobs are always worth the fight. So will the Premier recognize that there is always hope and change his mind after seeing what leadership can accomplish and actually help the auto workers in Oshawa and Durham region?
Thank you. Members, please take your seats. Premier.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of Oshawa GM workers, and you know what they want? They want certainty now. They want certainty that they're going to have a job when they come out.
Apologize, I have to interrupt the Premier. The opposition has to come to order. I have to be able to hear the Premier. Premier, continue.
They want certainty, as I was saying, Mr. Speaker. We're giving them certainty. We're creating jobs. Do you know what the biggest problem we have, Mr. Speaker? We don't have enough people to fill the jobs out there. There's over 150,000 jobs waiting for people. We need more people to fill those jobs. Again, we're the envy of North America. We had accolades from every single governor we met. When we met the Fortune 500 companies around the round table, they're investing back into Ontario. They're creating more jobs because they have certainty. They know they have a government that's pro-job, pro-people. We're there for the people. We're creating jobs. We told the world down there we're open for business.
Stop the clock.